Hello.
Hello, it's me. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm good. Yeah. How's it? Do you know Thanksgiving in London?
no. How about
That's
you? Like you had a
yeah.
good time?
It was good. It was good family time. Yes. Had a few days off, of course, which is nice. Long weekend. So it was good. And so I apologize. I got to my desk late, just before I had to log in. So let me see where we.
I think
So
we were working on the what they call the facing the window
there's the
one.
window. Yeah, did I? So that's right. But I was looking at what because we there were certain things that came up also. Let me go ahead
Yeah,
and share my
like
screen.
yeah, that's I think like
If
stop
it's
T, stop
stop stop
yeah, and
consonants, I remember,
yeah,
and the
that's right.
two reduction. It says on
And,
my notes the two
and then also
reduction
like what do you
glottal
call?
D,
Yeah, glottal D. Yes, that's right.
and then
Yeah,
final stops. So like stops for T, especially for D, and then we talked about that glottal D as well.
yeah.
Um, so we were in the middle of this one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
We
Um,
were, let's see, I think we were right around here.
yeah, yeah, that's yeah. I just can't talk long. I think the up to there.
I think
Um,
that's where we
no,
left
no,
off
no, 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 no,
before.
no, no. I think I simply want to hear about the face at the window. Yeah, I think we. So the and then yeah, one day that's the start. Yeah.
Oh, right
So
here. Okay.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I could you also kind of any kind of small mistakes could you just point out that's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah,
kind of
I'll try
purpose,
to.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'll try to. I mean, I always pay attention, but in terms of like those subtle things that I don't normally, stop
point out.
consonants are important. But when we were talking about yesterday, you were like, what are things that I do that you're not doing? And so if that's
Yeah,
the case, then we will totally get um yeah, we'll get into the weeds, as we say. So
okay,
um
like
yeah,
very very subtle things too, but
very
yes.
specific. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
um and then one day I was coming back from the shed and I noticed this face staring out from the top floor window. Okay. Yeah. It was strange because the top floor was off limits. You know about the fire in 78? Right. So there literally wasn't a floor to stand on where where the window was. Catastrophic structural damage. I think
The other,
we
yeah,
yeah, we did
the
this,
other,
yeah.
well, the other thing that came up last week that I didn't write down was the flat T catastrophic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Catastrophic
that's right.
structural
And
damage. Yeah.
and then going to this question about the fire in '78, so you're there. He's asking. That's a statement, right? You know about the fire in '78 is not a
Uh,
question, right? But
yeah.
we want to frame it as a question. So he's saying, you know about the fire in '78, or you know about the fire in '78, but
Oh,
you're going to want to emphasize no and then end on an up pitch, right? Because it's a question. You know about the fire in '78,
okay.
right? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're asking them
Right.
using a general statement.
You know about the fire in 78? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to say, and I don't do it a lot, but you can do the and. I was coming back from the shed and I noticed where just an N sound, right?
Oh,
Where and I
coming back
noticed
from a shit and uh shit and yeah. I was
And
coming
I
I was
noticed.
coming back from the shed and I noticed, shed and
Yeah.
I noted this face staring out from the top floor window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. Then after catastrophic structural damage, and yet once a week when I pissed the sisters off for whatever reason, I I'd go outside to the woodshed. I'll go outside to the woodshed, and the face would be there, looking down on me, smiling and waving.
So a couple of things in that sentence, and I
Yeah,
like you did the Q reduction, very nice. So a couple of things, and yet once a week when I piss the sisters off. So piss off is a phrasal verb, right?
yeah.
And the object, right? Sisters is in between, separable, right? So you're going to want to emphasize piss and off since they're both verb. Piss the sisters off, or take that whole piss the sisters off and just emphasize the whole thing, right? The
Okay.
object and the phrasal verb. And then when you get to this one, you said I'd go outside to the woodshed and the face would be there, and you wanted the face would be there.
Oh,
Verb.
yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned that last time. Yeah, I agree. I
Man.
remember.
So let's try
Okay.
that from and
Okay.
yet.
And yet, once a week, when I pissed the sister off, for whatever reason, I go outside. I'll go outside to the woodshed, and the face will be there. Okay. Yeah, the face will be there, looking down on me, smiling and waving.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. And I wasn't frightened at first, more confused. The angle of the wave was off, the eye line, the something. And then, and then, one night, I realized what was happening. The face in the window wasn't looking at me. It was looking at something behind me. I refused to get firewood. I refused to get firewood after that. I scrubbed dishes in the kitchen till my hands were bloody. Till my
So
hands are bloody.
we're bloody. Yeah,
Were
you got it the
bloody.
first. So one thing I was noticing that I do, and I just did it, that I do that flap T.
Yeah.
And this is a really good example, that flap T linking. So, and then one night I realized, did you hear how I flapped the T and night I realized? So
Oh,
that,
night I realized. Yeah.
yes, and I just did it when I said, one thing that I do, I flapped the T in that I do, so that um, flap T linking. And I was watching something on YouTube where I had to repeat after the words, and the words were on the, it was like a meditation or something. But I was
Mm.
repeating it out loud, and I just noticed listening to myself that I'm doing all this flap T linking, it just without even thinking, and I just kind of noticed it, and it happened more than once, and that's why I was
Oh,
able to
okay.
catch it anyway. Anyway, that's very common. The other thing,
Sorry, then
I
that like this one, like, and then one night I realized, yeah, what was what was happening. Is that okay?
yeah. So anytime you get uh, vowel T at the end of a word and then vowel in the next word,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
only one I
Okay.
can see there. And then the other thing, and other than that, that was terrific. And that's just a little sort of thing to add. You did everything pretty good there. But it was down. It was looking at me. I was looking at something behind me. I refused to get firewood after that. So you're probably going to just say that in a matter of fact way, right? And it sounded like you emphasized that when you were reading the
Yeah, yeah,
after
yeah.
that. Yeah, and you probably just I refuse to get firewood after that.
I
Just
refused to
matter
get
of
fire. Yeah, I refused to get fire after that. Yeah, he was looking at something behind me. Yeah. kind of as a matter of factly. Yeah.
Yeah, they both end with the period. You're just kind of telling them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unless you're going to emphasize a specific word, you don't want to do it at the end unless there's some kind of reason to do it. Um,
Okay.
so we might, if you want, review flap T linking just to kind of practice so you can get used to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Could you kind of one more of the another one, and
Monologue.
then monologue, and
Sure.
then we can probably decide what would be the priority, like something like kind of happening all the time for me. Yeah, flop T, I think one thing. Yeah.
Flap T is a thing because you missed it in catastrophic. I think you also missed it in the word
Yeah.
noticed.
Notice. Yeah, yeah. I was overdrawn. Drawn. Yeah. I was overdrawn. That was what my card said. Card said. Yeah.
But
Stop.
you want to say
Stop T.
that's what my card said.
That's what my card said. That's what Megan said when I went up to the teller window. She was standing. You know, she was standing. You know how does she was standing? You know how she does. She was standing. You know how she does, tapping those turquoise nails on the counter like a little drum.
So
Yeah.
right there, you said I couldn't believe. Did you in turquoise? Did you use schwa R?
Turquoise, turquoise.
That was clean right there. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Make sure.
turquoise.
Yeah, it sounded like turquoise, tor, like
Yeah,
so.
yeah, okay, more like sure. Yeah, turquoise.
That's perfect. Exactly right. And then this is Megan.
Megan. Oh, okay, not Megan. Megan. Megan.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, I wrote that down. The only thing with there was that she was standing. You know how she does, or you know how she does, tapping those turquoise fingers. So you're probably either going to emphasize you know, and does, or just does. You know how she does, tapping
You
those
know how she
turquoise
does.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just you know how she does, just
Okay.
does. But I like both. I like
Yeah.
verb personally.
She was standing. You know how she does, tapping tapping those turquoise nails on the counter like a little drum. Yeah, tapping those turquoise nails on the counter like a little drum. Yeah. And so yeah, this one I kind of googled this way of the expression, and so I say to Megan, I say, well, it's a bit incorrect grammatically in a sense. So how do you say this way?
So if you're telling a story,
Yeah,
right? You're telling the story about this Megan, and she's tapping her fingernails and all this stuff.
Megan.
And then all of a sudden you're gonna, yeah, Megan. You said Megan again. That's right.
Yeah, I did.
Um, and then so you probably now you're telling them what you say to her. So you're gonna preface it by saying, and so I say to Megan, I say, well, how did that work? And so you're really pretending like there's a comment, and this is in quotes, right? After
Okay.
I say, right? Very common for
Oh, that's how
Americans to
you say.
say, and so I said it, and so I said, and usually in the past tense, right? To use proper use.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I said to so and so, I said, blah, 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 right? And then you're going to emphasize your
Okay,
thing.
that's how you read
So,
it. Okay.
and I would also, so that's really incorrectly. Some people say, and so I say to so and so, I say, right? Like they're trying to put you in the present tense, that story. But realistically, most people, certainly I would say, and so I said to so and so, I said, right? Because we're in the past tense. So
Okay.
that's the only thing I would do. But it's very common for people to say, and so I say, I say to
Okay.
so and so, I say this. Yes.
Okay. And so I say to Megan, I say, and so I say to Megan, so I say to Megan, I say, well, how does that work? Okay. And so I say to Megan, I say, Well, how does that work?
How
How
does
does that?
and yeah, go ahead. Exactly.
Yeah. How does the bank let me? How does the bank? How does the bank let me spend money I don't have? I don't have. Yeah. And she gives me she gives me this look like I'm an idiot, and smiles and says something about it being served. It's okay. No, not good. And she gives me this look like I'm an idiot, and smiles and says something about this being a service they offer. Yeah, it's a very casual way
Well,
to talk, so
and
it's a bit
yeah,
difficult
and
to mimic.
she gives me this look. He's still in the present tense, right? He's talking about this when obviously he's talking about something that's happened sometime in the past. He
Right,
keeps doing this, and so I say she gives me this look. It's this storytelling technique that Americans use of trying to bring you into like their where they were at that time. Like we're
right.
all in the present tense, and it's really not a good way to tell a story. But some people
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
So and yeah.
But really quick, I want to say I really would say in this sentence, and so I say to Megan, I say, well, how does that work, right? Because you're talking
Oh,
about
okay.
whatever
Yeah, that's right.
the
How
thing
does
that they're
that work?
talking. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. And she gives me this look like I'm an idiot, and smiles and says something about this being a service they offer. Yeah, like by being overdrawn, they're doing me a like like by like by being an overdrawn, they're doing me a favor. Yeah,
yes. And then you said this word here three different ways. It's just for the O, just do a schwa, idiot.
idiot. Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
said it sounds like you said yacht, and like one time it sounded like a schwa, so it was just inconsistent. So it is schwa. I wrote that down, but it's definitely a schwa.
okay. Idiot. Yeah, idiot. Yeah, okay. All the while, her fingernails tap, 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 tap. You know, the overdraw fee is $25. That's a lot of money to me. I don't tell Megan this. I say I say, and I'm real polite. Can I opt out of that service? I say, and I'm really sorry. I say, and I'm this one I say is also kind of a bit odd to me. So I say, and yeah. So could you do it? Like, and then I
Yeah.
can copy
So
you.
you said he say just the present tense was really kind of ridiculous. I
Yeah,
say, and I'm real polite. Can I opt out of that service? Right? Because you that's the question that you asked. You're
yeah.
just you're telling this person, and I said, and I'm real polite. Can I opt out of that service? Right? But then you go, you're prefacing it by saying I'm real polite, and so they really whoever wrote this should have put quotes around that too, right? Because that's what you're telling. That's what
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
saying, rather. So yeah, I say, and I'm real polite. Can I opt out of that service?
Okay. I say, am I real polite? Can I opt out from the service? Out of the service? Yeah.
Out of that? Yeah,
I'll opt out of that service.
you can do that
Out
too.
of
You
that
said out of.
service.
You can do out
Uh,
of that or
out
out
of
of that.
that service. Yeah. Out of that service. Yeah. So I don't get the favor of being charged 20. So I don't get the favor of being charged $25. So I don't get the favor of being charged $25. Yeah. Sorry, sir. First time she said, first time she's served me in all my life. Yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, sir. First time she's served me in all my life. It's not optional. How will you be paying How will you be paying your overdrawn fee?
Oh yeah, and so you said there first time she served me in all my life, which is fine. You could do that. Yeah. Also, you did first time she served me in all my life. Again, it's just a
Okay.
statement. So you could do me. I'm not. That's not incorrect, but you don't have to.
Yeah. First time she served me in my whole life. Yeah. First time she served me in all my life. It's not optional. How will you be paying for? How will you be paying your overdrawn fee? Okay. And so well, yeah. Next thing you know, I've jumped I've jumped the I, I've jumped the counter. Yeah. I jumped the
Counter. That's right.
counter. Yeah. I remember my breathing was quick and I remember my breathing was quick and Megan Megan, right? Megan looked kind of amused and also kind of scared. And I said, give me my $20, give me my $25. And she still didn't. And the rest of it, I remember in flashes. I remember in flashes. My fingernails trying to up, my fingernails trying to open the till, yelling at Megan rolling her eyes, the walking out of the manager walking out of his office, out of his office, looking looking white as sheet.
White as a. Don't forget the article there. White as a sheet.
White as a sheet.
That's right. Very good. Yeah, so let's talk about that one. And I thought you did. So you did where was it? To open. Yeah, you did
Yeah,
the two there. I definitely heard that. Kinda. You did kinda somewhere. You did counter. That's terrific. Um, and then you did some flap two linking here, and then we did some there as well.
white as a
Yeah,
sheet.
walking out of his office. That one you did on your own. That was terrific. The one thing I thought you did there that you should do more often is you paused in the middle of
Uh,
sentences,
right.
which is totally all right. Right, this is your story. You're telling the story, and the rest of it, you said you pause there, and the rest of it, I remember in flashes. Perfect. Yeah, because you did a really nice pause there, and then you were my fingernails trying to open the till, yelling, Megan at me, like you're pausing. And I think you should just do more of that so you're not like tripping over your words as you're trying to do, you know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
pause in the middle of a sentence, you have a kind of an opportunity to calibrate what's coming up in the next few sentences. And you did
Okay.
that really terrific in that one. So that was really a really good paragraph. Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Then I then I then I think I robbed the bank. I think I robbed the bank. I didn't mean to. I didn't take anything. Are they going to get me for that? Are they going to get me for that?
Are they going to get me for that? That's exactly right.
Are they going
Now,
to get me for that? Yeah.
that's right. Now, we wouldn't, kids say, I didn't mean to,
Yeah.
but adults, you're going to do the full articulation if it's the last word. I didn't mean to. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't mean
but
to. Yeah.
yeah, didn't mean to. You want to do the full articulation. If
I
it's
didn't
the
mean
last
to.
word,
Right.
yeah. I think the only word most reductions you don't do at the end if it's the last word in the
Yeah.
sentence.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them you can, but as a rule of thumb, you don't want to do it if
Yeah.
it's the last word. So that was good. And then you did. Are they gonna? Yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect. So that was good. I thought really strong finish there. That certainly this paragraph. Well, I mean, this was only a couple of sentences, and you did with the exception of that, everything was the way it was supposed to. Um, but great job in this one, for
Thank
sure.
you.
And I think just if you when you listen to the recording and kind of look at that one in particular, and look at how you paused throughout
Pause. Yeah.
the, yeah, you did a lot of that, kind of, and I don't know if it was on purpose or just to try to get yourself, but it worked, and I thought it resulted in a much cleaner delivery and kind of articulation in some places, but certainly delivering the story, it came
Thank
out
you.
a lot better in that one. So I'll put these. I did only write down. I think we need to. I didn't mention this, but I wrote it down right here. Overdraw. Keep those
Oh, yeah.
lips relaxed because it was a.
Overdraw. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit sometimes like draw, and
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
drawn right there, for example.
Draw. Yeah.
Yeah, drawn, and so make sure you just keep those lips relaxed. So I wrote
Right.
down Megan, turquoise, idiot, and
Megan.
overdraw. That's all that came
Turquoise.
up.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
All
then
right.
we don't need to review flap T linking because once I mentioned it, you started doing it, a lot of that. So we can't. I mean, we can, but I don't think
Yeah.
we need to. So great work today. Nice strong finish. I'll put these in the chat for you, and then I'll see you next week.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Bye
Sunny. Bye
bye.
bye.